Hi gang, welcome to today's video, which is all about eyeshadow looks using Huda Beauty. I'm talking about Pretty Grunge and Icy Nude. These are two of the most recent large palette releases from Huda Beauty, and my goal is to create 5 different looks using a combination of shades from both of these. I want to see how well these play together. So if that sounds good to you, please hit like and subscribe to let me know that you want more videos like this. And let's get into the first set of looks. Okay, before we get into the first set of looks, just a couple of details. Number one, I've already done all of my skincare and complexion. I wanted to get all of that out of the way so that we could just focus on the eye looks. And then I also wanted to show you the inside of both of these palettes in case you're not familiar with them. So this is what Pretty Grunge looks like. As you can see, very purple and silver focused, with a little bit of more sort of neutral shades to one side. And then we have Huda's most recent large format palette, and supposedly the last, which is Icy Nude. And so again, we have some silvers in here, mauve tones, a little bit of, blue shift in some of these. So I just felt like these complemented one another really well. And I just wanted to see if I could get some different looks using them in concert. And so the first set of looks that I wanted to do, even though it is January and snow is predicted for my part of the country, I wanted to focus on springtime looks. And the reason for that is because a lot of brands are already releasing their spring collections. And so you may have spring fever in terms of the eyeshadow that you are itching to purchase. So if you have these palettes, one of my goals is to de-influence you and show you that you can use what you have, because that is part of the journey that I am on. And so yes, spring looks, that's what we're going to start with. And really what is inspiring this first look, which I am going to call Spring Fling, is this lavender shade here, which I think is just so beautiful, soft and feminine. And I am going to start out putting that all over my lid using my Rephr 33 brush. So I am just sort of packing that on. I do need to be a little careful since I've already done all of my base makeup, but I really just wanted to get a wash of this lavender shade all over my lid. I am going up a little bit into the crease, and let me get the other eye. I just think this is so pretty and feminine, and would be a great foundation for this springtime look. So again, this is the sort of lavender shade, and I'll put the shade names in somewhere around the top so that you'll know exactly what I'm using. But so just starting off there, and then wait, I made a big powdery mess on my palette. I can't look at that. And then what I wanted to do is, deepen up the outer corner a little bit, put a little bit of a deeper shade through the crease or just above the crease, as my eyes are a little bit hooded. And so I'm going to use this shade here for that. And I have a Rephr 14 that I'm going to use. So I'm just dipping into that. So again, this is a very obviously cool toned look, and I'm just going to run that just above where I put that lavender shade. As I said, I've seen some of the releases that are coming through from some of the other brands. I believe Chanel has a collection that they've already released. And I saw a really beautiful lavender shade in that palette, and that is kind of what inspired this. I thought, ooh, I want that, and that means other people may want that. And I thought, well, I have a lavender shade already. So again, just kind of running this to get the shape that I want for my eyes, and deepen up the outer corner just a little bit. I envision this Spring Fling look being sort of a daytime look, and so don't want it to be too intense, Want to keep it light and feminine and flirty. Okay, and from there, what I was thinking that I would do, I haven't done any of these looks, guys, by the way, so, you know, not really sure how this is going to turn out, but I think that's part of the fun, right, is to play with makeup. What I wanted to do is use this really cool pink here, sort of tapping that over a little bit closer to the inner corner, not exactly the inner corner. I'm going to use my finger for this. So, and I just wanted to, you know, get some brightness there towards the inner portion of my eyelid. So going with the other one as well. That pink, that light, cool pink, which is fairly light on me. Okay. I want to add just a little bit of this white shade. So this white here. So far here we have an all matte look, which is not my go-to, as you may know if you have been watching my channel. So I'm just doing a little bit of that in the tear duct area for our spring fling. I have to do a little bit of shimmer. You could leave this right here for this daytime look, but I am going to do a very subtle shimmer. And for that, I'm going to be using this shade here. And I am just going to sort of tap my finger in that, you know, not swirling, not going too far. And then I'm just going to tap just the lightest little bit in the center. We want to keep this nice and subtle and soft. Okay, before I go any further and decide if I want to do anything else in terms of the shadows for themselves, I am going to take my Endless Cacao pencil from Makeup Forever and run that along the lower lash line to help me determine if I have the shape that I want. So I am kind of running it through the eyelashes a little bit. I am going to try out a little bit of eyeliner on the upper lash line using the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal liner that looks like this. And I'll include all the, you know, links and information about all the products down in the description box as usual. But I do feel like I need a little bit of liner here, not much. And I'm not really creating a wing, but I am making it thicker towards the outer edge. Before I decide if I want to do anything else, I am going to put on some mascara. And this is an instance when I am going to use my brown mascara called Twig from Tower 28. Again, this is just all in the idea of keeping it softer, more daytime. So I'm just going to curl my lashes here with my Shiseido eyelash curler and add some of this brown mascara, which is just a touch more subtle than the black. Not to an overwhelming degree, but just a bit. And, uh-oh, I think I did that thing where, oh, I was putting on mascara and the lash like turned downward into my eye, but I think it's okay now. Okay, so, and I want to pull this mascara out this way. Kind of more, you know, going to the side like this. And let's see, I am gonna pull out my Clinique Bottom Lash Mascara for that bottom lash line. Apply a little bit of that. And as a final touch to for this sort of sweet daytime look, I am going to use my Makeup Forever Artist Color pencil that is in this stark white. And I don't know, I thought this would be nice, you know, with that really matte white inner corner. So I'm gonna run this along the waterline, the bottom here. Okay, so I am gonna leave this just like this, okay? So this is Spring Fling. And then we are gonna move on to a look on this eye called Be Mine. And so you could think of this as taking a daytime look to a nighttime look. And that's why I didn't put mascara on over here, because I'm gonna go in with more eyeshadow. So really, you know, Be Mine, consider this like your date night look, right? And maybe this is even your Valentine's Day look. The first thing that I want to do is take this more sort of, you know, mauve tone here and deepen up the outer corner in the crease just a little bit more. So I'm going to take that same Rephr 14 that I used on the crease in the outer corner and dip into that. And knock a little bit off. And now I am going to go sort of lower in so that that lighter shade that I had down originally is sort of where it's fading up. But this will create sort of a deeper crease look overall. I am going to grab this pink shimmer and I'm swirling my finger into that. This is what that shade looks like. And now I am tapping that onto the center of my eyelid. I'll tell you, I do think that these shimmers could benefit from the use of, I mean, I don't know about a glitter glue. I've never used a glitter glue, but the Pat McGrath Labs Intensify stick, I could see where these could really benefit from having a product like that to use underneath the shimmers. I'm going to take this chunkier sort of silver here. This is one you do have to be careful with or it will create a huge mess. I am prepared to clean up under my eyes with Q-tips if need be. Over here, what I want to do is use my Victoria Beckham liner, you know, that I used over here on the top. I'm going to use it over here on the bottom. So we're deepening up what is happening along the lower lash line. And these are great because they have a little smudger here. So I am going to smudge that out. Don't want to get too crazy here. I mean, this is date night. You know, this is maybe your dinner date for Thanksgiving. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving. For Valentine's Day. You know, this is not, we're going to the club. And then I also want to deepen up the eyeliner on the top lash line. I am going to use my Beauty Pie eyeliner that is in this nice brown color here. And so we just want to deepen up a little bit at the outer half or third of the lash line. Again, don't want to go too deep here because this is still supposed to be sort of a sweet look. Now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and do mascara on this eye. So, for over here, I am going to use my black Tower 28 mascara. So, I may have already curled these, but we're going to do it again if I did. My lashes are so naturally light blonde that they actually look like they have a ton of purple and pink eyeshadow on them right now. So, see if I can kind of get that off. And going mascara over here. you could use more of a, thickening mascara. Of course, I mean, this is a tubing formula. It is stated that it gives you volume and length, but there are definitely other mascaras on the market that are good for volume. I'm thinking of my combo that I sometimes use from Beauty Pie, which is the lash building primer that you put on first that looks white. And then over top of that, the Uber Volume mascara in black. That is a great combination to use to create a lot more volume, and the lengthening is still there too, I think because of that primer. Let's add mascara to the bottom, of course, using that bottom lash mascara again. Okay, and as a final touch over here, just because we did want it to be a little bit deeper, I am also going to tightline, if I can dig through all of these eyeliners I dumped on my vanity, yes, and find my Beauty Pie eyeliner that is in this felt tip style, which is what I love to use for tight lining. So let's bring the eye lid up to sort of, I'm really just kind of trying to wiggle in between those lashes. And oh, this helps your lashes look longer without taking up more eyelid space. Man, this is really hard to do on camera. Okay, so I am going to do a little bit of cleanup and then I'll be right back to talk about these looks. All right, gang, I am back and I have cleaned up under my eyes. I did also apply a little bit of concealer to that area where I'd cleaned up and sort of powder just to sort of bring my complexion back to where it was. I also added a little bit more of this white eyeliner from Makeup Forever in the waterline over here and to the inner corner just to make that pop a little bit more. And I applied lipstick, of course. You may have noticed that difference. So I used this Cool Tone lipstick that's pink from Beauty Pie. And then on top, I applied some of this gloss from Tower 28. And again, everything will be down in the description box. So I really like both of these looks. If you've been watching me, you probably will not be shocked to know that I prefer this look because this is more in line with sort of my everyday eyeshadow. But I know some people don't like wearing, this deep of a look in terms of the outer corner and the crease and the shimmer. So, this look, which is Spring Fling, may be more your speed. So I hope you've enjoyed both of these looks, and I will be back with our next two looks. All right, gang, it is the next day as I am filming these next two looks. On the plus side, I am wearing my very cute snowy alpaca sweater today in honor of the snow that's supposed to come through Memphis starting tonight. The bad news is that I apparently slept weird last night. So I have a little bit of a crick in my neck and it could affect how I move around in today's video, but we are just going to roll with that. And so today's looks are going to be about the office, and specifically I am thinking casual Friday on this for this first look. I have already again done all of my complexion and skincare, and I primed my eyes with eyeshadow primer from Ulta. So let's get into the first look. I am going to take my Rephr 14 and go into this shade here and run that through the crease just above, as I usually do, to start to build out the eye shape that I want to achieve. So again, this is our casual Friday office look. We want it to be a little bit more on the conservative side, although I will tell you that when I worked in an office, I had absolutely no problem wearing all of my fun eyeshadow looks, and got plenty of compliments on them when I did. So, but not everybody's comfortable doing that. So I wanted to just build a nice, easy look that's good for the office, good for daytime. So got that going through the crease and just above. And now I am going to use my Rougher 01 mini brush, and I am going to pick up some of this deeper shade here from Pretty Grunge to deepen up the outer corner. And I don't want to go too deep here, so I'm going to tap that off and try to be careful that I don't go too far. So just deepening that up and creating a little bit of a V shape by sweeping upward in a diagonal motion and meeting that crease shade and even kind of working it into the crease shade a little bit. And I'm going to do that on this other side. I'm trying not to flick my head real quick. I am convinced that the way that I hurt my neck was because I was sleeping all curled up in a little ball because it's so cold right now. I think it's in the 20s right now here in Memphis. And I have to say, I feel sort of bad complaining about that, given what's happening in LA right now with the wildfires. And on that note, I just want to say that if you are in LA, if you have family in LA, I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry about what you or your family members are going through. It is absolutely horrific. My brother, actually, he lives in Dallas, but he has a house in LA, and I haven't heard from him yet as to how he's doing or if he has any updates on his property, but my heart breaks for what people are going through. Okay, so there we've got the outer corner, and now I am going to pull in some shades from Icy Nude, and this is where I want to add some shimmer, and I'm going to add this one right here using my finger. So just swirling my finger in that. Here is what that shade looks like, and I am tapping that into the center of my lid on both eyes and working over a little bit into that outer corner shade to marry that. And I'm even using a little bit of the tip of my finger to put it up a little bit into the crease, and I believe that this makes my eyes look bigger. So got that there, and I am tapping it towards the inner corner a bit, but I don't want a lot of pigment there because I am going to go in with another shade in that area. Now I am going to grab this sort of vanilla shade right here, and I'm actually going to use one of my brushes from the KJH collection, and I am going to grab some of that and apply that right here in the center and sort of swooping up just a bit. Get my hair out of the way. Swooping up just a bit to meet that crease shade. Again, I'm focused on creating some brightness here. I'm going to apply just a little bit of that up on the brow bone, just to add, again, some brightness there. I am going to take my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Endless Cacao, and I'm going to run this along the lash line on the bottom. You guys know, if you've been watching me, this is a step that I never miss. It's one of the only constants in my eye routine, which really says something about how much I love this product. Here's where we are right now with that look. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to add mascara just to one side. So that is going to be the true casual Friday in the office side before we get into the next look. So I've got my handy dandy eyelash curler and I'm going to curl my lashes. And I want to use different mascaras today so that you guys can see how different mascaras in my collection look. So I am not going to use my Tower 28. Today, on this side, I am going to use, and excuse me, it rolled off my vanity. Oh God, my neck. Okay. So I am going to use my Uber Volume Mascara from Beauty Pie today. Here's what that brush looks like. You can see that it's much fluffier and bigger than the Tower 28 brush. So get some mascara on here. Oh gosh, you guys, this is hard with my neck thing. Again, I apologize if I'm moving kind of slow and moving in strange ways. But I didn't want to wait. I wanted to go ahead and film this and get this up for you guys. Okay. I really like this mascara. I think that I'm sort of switching what is my favorite mascara. I feel like I need this kind of boost. I am going to take my bottom lash mascara from Clinique and put that along the bottom lash line. By the way, well, you may notice even from yesterday, I hope it's not too jarring as you're watching this, but I altered my lights a little bit. So hopefully this lighting is better for you guys to see what I am doing, but it's going to take a little bit for me to actually get used to it as I'm putting on makeup. So if you like this lighting better, you could even let me know in the comments because I want you guys to get as much as possible out of these videos. And I know that lighting makes a big deal. So if you prefer this lighting for looks 3 and 4 and you find it helpful, let me know. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take this look and pump it up. Over here is going to be happy hour. So still work, okay? But it's Friday, you've had your casual Friday, and now you're going to happy hour with your friends. And so we are going to transform it into a look that is a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more nighttime. And to do that, the first thing that I want to do is to grab a shade from Pretty Grunge, this one here, which is really deep and has a little bit of shimmer in it. And I am going to put this in the outer corner, even though it's got some shimmer. I think it's dark enough to where it's not going to cause any problems. So I am tapping that into the outer corner here. I also wanted to amp up the shimmer a little bit. So what I am going to do for that, instead of using my finger, I am going to grab one of my synthetic Rephr brushes. This is Rephr 21, and I'm going to spray a little bit of setting spray, and I can't find my Max Fix Plus. Hold on. Oh, there she is. Okay, the neck. Okay, so I have my Max Fix Plus here, and I am just going to spray a little bit in my hand, and I am going to now tap into this shimmer here. Should have done that before I sprayed stuff into my hand, but that's okay. And I am going to dip my Rev 21 into that. And then I am going to dip into my palm where I sprayed that MAC Fix Plus. So I am just picking that up. And now I am going to tap that on. And I'm using that to hopefully get this shimmer to stick a little bit better and really lay down on top of that other shimmer. So we did just want this to be amped up a little bit. And tapping that in all the way up to the crease. Okay. And into that deeper shade. So I think you can already see the difference between these two looks. And again, so, you know, the idea is you've been at work, you're getting ready to go out to happy hour, maybe you've got some products in your bag and you sort of throw on a little bit of extra makeup to amp things up, and then you are ready to go. I'm gonna take the original crease brush that I used for the transition shade, and I wanna, not exactly in the outer corner, but in the crease, I wanna blend those two together a little bit better. So, and for a little added drama, I am bringing that brush towards my nose. I am going to use my Beauty Pie eyeliner on the top lash line and just apply a little bit of that here towards the edge. It's already pretty deep out here, so don't really need to add a ton. But I want to deepen that up a little bit out that way. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the Endless Cacao pencil along the lower lash line. For this eye for mascara, I'm actually going to use the primer from Beauty Pie before I apply the mascara. So this is the lash building primer product that they have that looks white on the brush. So, oh God, let me get some of that down on my lashes. I kind of want us to look at the difference of using the primer first up against just using the Uber Volume Boost mascara from Beauty Pie. Okay, so hopefully you can see my little white eyelashes there. And I want to let that kind of dry a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to take my stark white eyeliner from Makeup Forever, and I'm going to add a little bit of this to the inner corner, really the tear duct area. I think that I can now go in with my actual mascara on the happy hour side. So pull that out, and that you gotta make sure you get all the way to the lash line to ensure you're covering up that primer that's white. Now I am gonna do the mascara on my bottom lashes. And what do you guys think? Can you tell a big difference between the eye that has the primer underneath it? And is it a good difference or is it a bad clumpy difference? What do you guys think? Okay, so I am now going to do a little bit more cleanup, reapply some concealer, and I will be right back to talk about these looks. All right, I am back having completed my cleanup process. So in addition to trying to remove some of the fallout from those shadows, I also reapplied concealer and did a little bit more powder just to bring sort of my complexion products back to where they were. And I really like both of these looks as well. Feel like they're both great for just sort of everyday, quick, easy, more natural looks, whether that's going into the office or running errands and then amping it up a little bit to have a drink with a friend. So I hope that you have found these helpful, especially if you need to know how to put on an eyeshadow look with a neck injury, because while this is not my best work, I do feel like I got through it. So we have one look to go, and I am really excited about this last one. So hang on for that one. All right, we are on to our final look, look number 5, which I am calling Girls Night Out. And for this look, I wanted to focus on 2 shades in particular. One from Pretty Grunge, being this lilac shade here, and 2 being this extremely icy shade from Icy Nude. With the popularity of lilac expanding even to face powders, I decided to really make that, again, the foundation of this look. But first off, I am going to dip into this shade in Icy Nude, this sort of pink here, and put that as the crease shade. So I did go ahead and build this look on the other eye first because I was most concerned about messing it up. I did get it in one try, but as I said, with all of these looks, I had never created these. And, you know, some of the others were a bit more simple. This one is less simple in terms of the number of shadows and the potential for it to look completely ridiculous. So that's why this one is already done, but hopefully seeing this one, you want to see how you get there. So that's what we're going to do. So I've just run that through the crease. Now I am going to go in with that lilac shade. I am using my Refer 33 here, which is great when you want to essentially get a wash of color. So using this as a base across the entire mobile lid. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is grab this deep purple shade here from Pretty Grunge, and I'm going to put some of that in the outer corner. I'm going to be careful not to go too far to start off because I do have a lot of different shades that I'm layering in here. So let's get that going in the outer corner. Hopefully I can make these eyes look the same. Okay, so, and I am sort of going a little bit further in along the lash line to create more depth there. And I grabbed a little bit more, but not too much on the brush. In fact, let me get some off. And I'm gonna deepen the crease a little bit more, not going quite as high as that first shade that I laid down. Okay. And do a little bit more of that. Deepen up a little bit further along the base. I'm going to be adding liner to the top of this look, a liquid liner as well. So that will help us get that intensity once we get to that stage. But I think that for now, we are pretty good there. So next what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's see, pick up that really icy shade with my finger, and I'm going to swipe that on in the center of the lid all the way over to the inner portion of the lid. Now I will say with this eye, I had the benefit of doing my face makeup after my eye makeup, so I did have to do a bit of cleanup. So I definitely recommend, if you decide to do this look, I'd recommend you do your eyes first, because this one does obviously focus quite a bit on this shimmer. So I really liked how with that lilac shade as a base, this goes a little bit more purple instead of blue. And so to me, I haven't used it that way before, and it's one of the things that I really like about this. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to pick up a little bit of this purple sort of shimmer shade here. It doesn't look super shimmery in the pan. It does look a little bit marbled, but when you swatch it, you can see it's got a little bit of a complexity there in terms of the different colors. And so I am adding this, not all the way to the outer corner, but I'm marrying it in with that sort of whitish lilac that we've put over the majority of the lid. I'm going to pick up a little bit more. And I am tapping sort of with the tip of my finger all the way up into the crease. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty even. I am going to grab a little bit more of that original sort of lighter shimmer and make sure that more so towards the top portion of my eyelid, I'm going a little bit further over. Okay. Definitely got some fallout going. I'm going to grab a little towel here and wipe my fingers. I think I've got a little bit more intense on this eye now at this point. So I'm going to grab a little bit more of that just to even things up and tap it on over here. Don't want to be uneven. So I think that evens things up pretty nicely. And do the best I can to clean up. Let's see. I want to deepen up a little bit more. So I'm going to go back into this deep purple here that is the matte and make sure that I really have that at an angle as deep as I want in that outer corner. And that it's fading up nicely into that next shadow, just more of sort of a pinky shade. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off lining my lower lash line with my Endless Cacao pencil. I am going to use another eyeliner down here as well, but right now I'm just trying to make sure I've got the shape that I want. And so that I can also be sure of what I'm doing, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup in the inner corner. I think so far so good on this. Look, I think you can see this came together pretty quickly, right? I mean, I think that was pretty fast for a go out look. But okay, so now what I want to do is I want to take some of this white shade here that is matte just on my pinky, and I'm actually going to add that more sort of at the tear duct just to get that even brighter, if you can imagine. Pump that up a little bit on this side as well. Okay, so I think that is looking good. And now what I want to do is grab my liquid eyeliner, and this is the Felt Style eyeliner from Beauty Pie, and attempt to line the upper lash line. It's easier on this side for me because I'm right-handed, and this is my right eye. It's harder for me to get it the way I want it when I'm working on the other eye. But because for this eye, what I did is I essentially was laying it down on my eye. So I wasn't drawing like this. I was literally just stamping. And it's a little bit harder to do that this direction, of course, but I'm going to start off right along the lash line, of course, using as much of the side of the applicator as I can to get that nice and tight up against the lash line. And I can flip this way now. So you could use this type of liner for this, or you could also use a black eyeshadow to get this kind of line. And this requires a lot of concentration, so okay. So I think I've got that down pretty good now. And let me come in a little bit over here. And I'm just running that. I'm almost getting into the tight line area there, which I am going to tight line as well, up underneath the lashes once I have mascara on. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Let's see if I can kind of wipe away some additional fallout here. And I am going to go ahead, I think, and do mascara on the lower lashes to let that kind of dry before I move on to the next step, because I don't want to use my eyelash curler and immediately rub off what I just worked so hard to get on. And I'm actually going to also put some additional eyeshadow on top of what I just did in the outer corner. So I'm going to grab a really small brush now. So this is a pretty small one from KJH. I'm again going to go into that deepest purple that I have been using right there. And now I am just pressing this in, really focusing on this outer corner and working essentially at a diagonal. And this is going to make it look less like I have liner on the lash line up here, while just creating really a lot of depth, making it much deeper than I was able to achieve a moment ago. Okay, so I did get a little more fallout, wipe that up. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do mascara. And I am going to use my Beauty Pie Duo, which is the primer and the Uber Volume Boost Mascara. So, let me curl my lashes. Still a bit nervous that I'm going to end up taking off some of what I just laid down. So if you've got more time to let that dry, that might be advised. So now I'm just going to put some of this on to help create some more volume for this look. I don't really wear false eyelashes. My vision is pretty bad. And so the idea of trying to put them on is really intimidating. I think I just took off a whole lash. So yeah, you could definitely, I think, go with false lashes with this look if, that's something that you're comfortable with. And I think it would look really good. But I am not going to do that for our purposes today. And I have just a snowy day ahead of me. It snowed, I think, about 8 inches in Memphis. So we are completely covered up and shut down right now. The grocery stores and Target were a complete madhouse yesterday. So I am all stocked up. I am in good shape, even if I'm snowed in for a couple of days. Although, if that happens, I am going to probably start to go stir crazy. Okay, and while I'm letting that dry, I'm going to grab a liner from Beauty Pie. This is one of their gel liners that is in sort of a plummy color. And I'm actually gonna just run that underneath that mascara that I just put on. And that's really, you know, what I did over here, just sort of bringing that up to all the where that eyeshadow comes down. Okay, and now it looks like that is dried pretty well. So just moving on to mascara now. I think I'm about to the point of needing to open a new tube of this. So try not to make a mess here. And once this dries enough, I am going to tight line on the top to make my lashes look as long as possible. Okay, so I think we're good there. And so just going back to that felt tip liner now. And really just kind of running this on the base of the lashes. Okay, so I think that really sort of wraps up this look. I am really happy with the way that this one turned out. Let me put on just a touch of lipstick so that I can sit on my couch and look at the beautiful snow. This is a Beauty Pie lipstick that I had worn the other day. And I'm just going to grab a brush, face brush, quickly and kind of try to flick away some of that glitter that landed in other places. And just make sure that my blend is good up here. Okay, guys, so that is the final look number 5, our girls' night out. I hope that you like this look. I would love to know in the comments below what you think, and if you do have a favorite look. And if you have tried playing with these two palettes together. I mean, like I said, I'm really glad that I went through this experiment. I probably wouldn't have gotten around to doing it had I not decided to do Project Pan. But this has been a lot of fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it and that you've gotten a lot out of it. And I will see you next time. Bye.